Another guy who did not ever seem to learn his lesson, no matter how much trouble he got in, Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden back in court today because you see, Hunter Biden doesn't think he should have to pay his child support, not to the tune at which he agreed to just a few years ago. Because he said he would pay $2.5 million. And you're like, okay, that's a lot. But you know what? Actually, if you look at studies, it's actually, to raise a child, it costs a lot of money and education, et cetera. I would imagine there's a level of security involved with being Hunter Biden's child. And so the 2.5 seemed like a fair settlement to everyone, including Hunter, by the way, at the time. But now he seems to have had some kind of mysterious change in his situation, including, he says, his financial situation. And as such, he cannot pay that much money in child support. What kind of guy is he? He wouldn't even acknowledge the child. They had to force a DNA test, all that kind of thing. It's just a sordid, horrible past that has become, unfortunately, for all of us that have to read about it,
garbage.
Kind of almost too much to even fathom or even imagine. But I thought he was doing okay. I mean, he's got the, $500,000 paintings that he sells. And one would have assumed that the guy was actually able to earn some kind of a living. And if he couldn't, what about Pops over there in the White House? What about the granddaddy? Can he do anything?
Daddy, I need $500.
Apparently not, because if you look at what happened just last week, he invited a bunch of kids for Bring Your Child to Work Day to the White House and started to talk about his own grandchildren. He rambled a bit, as he does, and somehow left one out. He forgot to mention his 7th grandchild.
One granddaughter lives in New York. One granddaughter lives in Washington. One granddaughter lives in Wilmington, Delaware. And the other grandsons, my grandson lives in California. I left somebody out, didn't I? Anyway, Philadelphia, Wilmington, and I did say 5. You're right. So let me see. I got 1 in New York, 2 in Philadelphia. There's 3. No, 3, because I got one granddaughter who is, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
It's just bad. It's bad form. It's bad form for Hunter Biden. It's bad form for his dad. And you got to kind of face consequences. You had a child. Maybe you didn't want to have that child. I mean, you had a lot of relationships. I get it, going on at the time. There was your brother's widow. There was this a stripper for that was her profession. And then there was, of course, the woman I think that he's with now. I mean, he's one busy guy.
You can't keep getting away with it.
But to not pay your child support or to try and reduce the amount, it's extremely distasteful. And that's one where parents kind of need to step in. Hey, Joe, Jill, over there, busy guy being president, working all of 6 hours a day. You saw that I told you about that story, right? Last week. He's only working 6 hours a day, 10 to 4. 10 to 4, that's it. Busy guy working from 10 to 4 every day, weekends off there at the White House. And he can't pony up any money. I mean, he made a lot on that book, don't forget. So that tells you something. I mean, it's just kind of frankly, in my estimation, kind of a character issue.
He's insane!